quiero explorar contigo. Qué rico el bronceado marcado en tu ombligo. Me encontraste cuando más estaba perdido. Tengo motivo.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super interesting. Can I use my iPad Pro as my main computer? I currently use a MacBook Pro. It's all spec'd out with M1 Pro Max when they first came out with it. I got this computer mainly for my shop point hun, just to do all my shop stuff, which includes a lot of design work, creating graphics for newsletter and social media, and connecting with hubby on the Slack, and just working on our Shopify site and everything like that. And for Life with Holly, I use it for emails, Notion, content planning obviously, editing photos, editing my YouTube videos, and the graphics for my website or anything that I want to do, such as like freebies and stuff like that. So I mainly use Lightroom, Final Cut Pro, InDesign, Illustrator, and even Photoshop for my thumbnails. So since my MacBook Pro is my baby and things I carry everywhere, I bring it to work a lot, and there are times, this is the second time, where I just forget to bring it home. I'm in a hurry to leave and I just didn't unplug it and didn't bring it home. So there are times where I have to just use my iPad Pro as a main computer, and I thought this would be the perfect time to do a video and share with you guys my thoughts on having an iPad Pro as a main computer for a day and kind of see how it goes and my thoughts about it. And if you haven't been to my channel yet, welcome. My name is Holly from Life with Holly Lifestyles. I'm so excited to share with you my life as an entrepreneur and my tips and tricks for business. I've also been doing a lot of desk and productivity videos, such as these ones, and tech videos. So if you're interested in any of that or all of that, make sure you're subscribed. So first off, I want to talk about connecting it to my Apple Studio display. I recently got this, so I'm super happy, and I just love how everything is Apple related, so it's all cohesive and it just works really well together. So for connection, it's super easy. I literally just connect it like I normally connect my MacBook Pro to the Anchor docking station, and then everything is just ready to go. I don't have to do anything. The only other thing I have to connect is the mouse, because my keyboard is just wired to the docking station, but my mouse is wireless, so that's the only thing I have to connect. But other than that, it's pretty much very smooth and easy to use. So we're going to talk about the simple things for everyday use. I think this is perfect if you are not like me, not a designer and stuff like that, because if you're using it just for emails, for Notion, for watching YouTube videos, just communicating with your team on Slack, it is perfect to use as an iPad. It does everything that you need to do that is obviously on a computer. Mainly is email, but the Gmail is a little wonky sometimes because it's not like cohesive. Like obviously I'm signed into a bunch of accounts, which is good that I can just see everything at a glance, but at the same time, the search and the way you see your emails is a little different. Sometimes you might miss something or it's like hidden somewhere. That's the only problem I have in general with the Gmail app in general, whether it's on your phone or even on your iPad. That's the only problem, but other than that, it's pretty smooth and easy to use. It's super simple. I don't really use the Mail app for Apple anymore because I just didn't like how it was like downloading like the documents, downloading the thing in general. I just wanted to see it at a glance, and I didn't just want to have it downloaded, which sometimes can screw things up with the internet. Next is Notion. That one is super smooth. It does everything that I basically needed to do, but if I'm trying to build something in my Notion that's new or like something like that, that might be a little hard. On the computer, I think it's a lot better. But other than if you already have your Notion set up, if the Notion's ready to go, it's really smooth. You can just get a new task, you can do a lot of things. But if you're trying to set up something that is like a new database or something like that, I feel like it's a little harder. I don't know why. Maybe I just haven't figured it out. But if you have any comments, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to hear your feedback on certain things. And yeah, so this is just my personal experience, but if you have a different one, let me know. And then last but not least, watching YouTube videos or just communicating with team on Slack, that's super easy. YouTube videos, super easy to watch. I usually use two monitors, one to watch something or listen to something, and then the other one is my main monitor. I only need one. That's usually the Apple Studio in the back. So now let's get into the more complicated work. So things I do is editing, whether it's editing photos or even editing video. I usually do that on my main computer. I have design, which is basically my profession. I grew up doing graphic design, so a lot of the design work is all from me, whether it's for my shop or even for Life with Holly Lifestyles. I use InDesign a lot. I use Illustrator once in a while. I mainly use Photoshop to fix some photos or even do my thumbnail for my YouTube. So those are the main things that I would use for design work. And then Lightroom, which is editing the photos, is what I use to edit. I edit super simple, and then I use a preset after that. And editing YouTube videos, I usually use Final Cut Pro. So let's talk editing first. Editing on Lightroom is actually super easy. It's pretty similar to editing on your computer, so I don't mind that. I usually just edit very simply with just fix the exposure a little bit and the shadows and highlights, and then after I just slap on a preset, and that's pretty much it. And then for editing videos, I do edit videos already on my iPad Pro. I edit all my short form content on there, and then my long form content, which is this YouTube video, for example, I usually do it on my main computer. I try to keep it separate because first, on my computer, the storage is really crazy when it comes to editing, so I try to keep it minimal and simple. And then for short form content, I just use it on the iPad, and then I kind of just delete it afterward when I'm done with it. I don't really save a lot of my files unless it is sponsored content or something, but I should be saving them once in a while. But yeah, so there's that. So as I mentioned, I have been editing short form content with Final Cut Pro on the iPad, but the only thing is I've tried editing it on the Stage Manager, which is kind of like using it as a main computer version. It's very hard because I think it's more compatible with using your fingers and the touch screen on your iPad Pro, so I usually have to take it off and use it on my iPad Pro to edit videos. So I wish that one day they will fix that a little bit and make it more easier to edit through your mouse and keyboard, but that is a little kind of where I'm at with that last time I tried it out. But yeah. So I have been editing my short form content with my iPad Pro for a while now, and that's what I've been doing because I wanted to keep both of them separate. Because the long form content, which is a video you're watching now, can take up a lot of space, and I just didn't want it to take a lot of space on my computer, so I decided to just use the short form content into my iPad Pro, and it's been working really, really well. It's super easy to use, and I got used to it because they did tweak it a little bit so that it's better for kind of like when you're using a touch screen. So I'm loving the kind of like splitting it at the same time. I also don't use the short form content afterwards, so I usually just delete it afterwards so I can save on the space in my iPad. And then for the long form content, it's just easier to kind of separate, in my opinion. But using Final Cut Pro on a screen and with a keyboard and mouse isn't as intuitive as if you were using it just as an iPad itself. I believe it's because they created Final Cut Pro to be easier for touchscreen, for on the go and stuff like that. So I hope they fix that and it'll be easier to use on the computer too. I do feel like I can totally edit my YouTube content on there if I really, really wanted to. The only problem I have also is I believe there's no external storage that you can use, so you have to use your iPad storage, which I don't have a lot, so that might be a problem if I do end up using it for YouTube content. So that is something to consider when you're thinking about it. Next we have is design. I have tried designing or tried using the iPad as a design tool. It just never worked out. I believe it's still about the same, so that is something that I'm just never gonna probably do. Definitely need my main computer for any design work and stuff like that. I'm sure there's other design programs that you can use on the iPad, such as Canva and stuff like that, but I am an Adobe person. I've used it my whole life, and I just feel like that's the most professional kind of tool to have for design, because they were basically the company that started it all. But I believe you can do some minimal design stuff with their InDesign and Illustrator on iPad, but other than that, I would not recommend doing your design work there. I usually just stick with my computer, and it's a lot easier too. Last but not least is Lightroom, editing photos, adding a preset. It's actually super easy. I would totally recommend doing it. I just still do it on my main computer because it's a lot easier, because I'm already used to it. I already have all the files there. So I'd definitely use it if I just had my iPad Pro, but I have been using it on my main computer, so I'm definitely gonna keep using it there. So those are my thoughts of using iPad Pro as my main computer. I think it's perfect for everyday use, a little bit of editing work, or some just a light design work and stuff like that. But I will never ever leave my MacBook. I just love having a laptop. It's just a lot more easier. Obviously, iPad Pro or an iPad in general isn't made to replace your computer, so it really depends on what you're using it for. For me, I probably won't be able to use an iPad Pro as my main computer, but for someone that's just using it for daily use, which is emails, Notion, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that, they can totally use it every single day, which I wish I could. I love my iPad, but it is kind of interesting to kind of see the difference between the iPad and the MacBook. I mean, it really makes sense because that's why they're two separate products. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it gave you some insight. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Any other requests and videos, also let me know down below. And make sure to follow me at Life with Holly Lifestyles on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!